Now, on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a weather warning for Jackson County after front of clouds were seen in the county. We'll tell you what leaders are saying about the potential for more bad weather. And Trump had words for Attorney General Letitia James before his court appearance. We're following the latest on his civil fraud trial. And we're saying goodbye to Senator Dianne Feinstein as she lies in state at San Francisco City Hall. The details on her services and more coming up.
And we're going to be taking a look at the shower timing and those chances for that cool weather this weekend as we take a look at your full weather coming right up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
Today it's the 5th day of October 2023, spooky season in full effect.
Oh, it's coming up.
And the time is now 6:30 on your Thursday morning. And today it's Apple Betty Day, which is a dessert. It's a sweet aroma of apples baked in cinnamon and oats. I haven't had one.
That sounds so yummy, actually.
It sounds pretty good. Apple Betty Day.
Yes.
All right, Parker. Well, we had a little bit of rain this morning.
We did have a little bit of rain. In fact, we actually have some video of that rain that just came through. You're looking at video of the heavy showers, thunderstorms that just came through here at 25 News Now at the station. So take a look, and in just a second, it's actually got a good little video of those puddles building up. But for now, we're actually going to take a look at the radar, and we're going to take a look at the radar. You can see there's a couple showers still out there right now. A couple of the ones that went through here in Victoria are actually building back up north of us, but that's not in our neck of woods. Of course, anybody out there going to get some showers up there. Bay City just had a shower that just fizzled out now, but a couple of them moving up towards the coast, up to the Sargent area and Placer's area. But this is the real shower and thunderstorm activity we're going to have today. As the squall line moves through our area, nothing severe is expected as of now. Maybe if anything, the max severe we might see with that is some good, maybe strong 30-40 mile an hour wind gust along the front of that. Now we're going to take a look at the timing as that rushes its way down south into our area. But 9 a.m. on the high resolution model is when that line of storms gets to our area. And then on the North American model, about 8-9 a.m. on that one as well. As you can see, 9-10 a.m. it's still around. Well, we're going to take a look at the cooler weather coming up this weekend as this low just exited Canada, and that's going to give us this large, nice cool front going into the weekend, bringing 70s in the forecast. So if you take a look at your 7-day coming up in just a few moments. For now, back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Now to the crisis on the southern border, a major development from Washington. The Biden administration is giving the green light to build a border wall in part of Texas. It comes amid a new surge in migrant crossings, a surge that's straining public resources from the border all the way to Chicago and New York.
This morning, the Biden administration is waiving more than 24 federal laws to allow the construction of a border wall in South Texas, as more cities along the border and in the north struggle to handle the influx of migrants coming from Latin America. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas saying there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers and roads in the vicinity of the United States in order to prevent unlawful entries. September marked the highest number of migrant encounters at the U.S.-Mexico border so far this year, with Border Patrol apprehending more than 200,000. In New York, the number of buses filled with migrants has nearly tripled in recent days. The mayor is now on a 4-day trip to South and Central America to deliver a message.
We're going to tell them that coming to New York doesn't mean you're going to stay in a 5-star hotel. It doesn't mean that the mere fact you come here, you automatically are going to be allowed to work.
He says the city simply cannot house the 120,000 migrants who've arrived since last spring. Chicago also struggling, bracing for up to 24 more buses of migrants sent from Texas by Governor Greg Abbott. The mayor now planning to visit the border.
We need to go assess the situation. Just like our team has gone to D.C., we need better coordination, quite frankly.
Illinois' governor, in a letter this week, called on President Biden to address what he calls a humanitarian crisis, citing the federal government's, quote, lack of intervention and coordination. As for the border wall construction, it's for a limited area in South Texas, where about 245,000 migrants have entered this year. There's no timeline as to when that construction could start. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Two funnel clouds formed over Jackson County yesterday. Authorities say they were just funnel clouds, not tornadoes, because they didn't fully form and touch the ground. These photos brought to us by the Jackson County Office of Emergency Management. Authorities say there are no reports of any damages at this time. We're also hearing that there could be some sporadic locations of bad weather associated with this front as it blows through the county. Multiple agencies were on the scene of a major wreck yesterday in Hallettsville. The wreck involved this 18-wheeler you see turned on its side and another vehicle. No flames are seen here, but the 18-wheeler reportedly caught fire at some point. Drivers are asked to be cautious while driving near the area as first responders work to clear the scene. Two men are in custody following reports of property theft at Teely Cooper Funeral Home. Zachary Manuel and Zachariah Martinez were brought down Tuesday night in the 300 block of East Hugo. Manuel faces charges of theft of a grave, human corpse, and military marker. He's in the Lavaca County Jail. The bond is set at $50,000. We're learning more about Tuesday night's explosion in a fire that happened just outside of Shiner city limits on Highway 90A. The fire was reportedly an oil field pipeline fire. We hear the Texas Railroad Commission was at the site investigating Wednesday morning. Only minor injuries are reported. Across the nation, the third day of a civil fraud trial against former President Donald Trump began Wednesday in a New York courtroom. Trump, his company, and two sons are facing a $250 million fraud lawsuit brought by the New York Attorney General. Before entering the courtroom, the former president spoke with reporters, attacking Attorney General Letitia James. The case, which does not have a jury, will be decided solely by Judge Arthur Angoron, which could have widespread implications for the former president's businesses. Donald Bender, Trump's former accountant, who started testifying Monday, continues his testimony in court this morning. Feinstein is lying in state at San Francisco City Hall as the public says goodbye to the California senator. The long-serving Democratic senator and political trailblazer died last Thursday at her home in Washington, D.C. at 90. She was the oldest member of Congress after first being elected to the Senate in 1992. A memorial service for the longtime senator will be held this afternoon on the steps of City Hall. After the service, Feinstein will be buried at a private family ceremony. Dwayne Davis, the suspect in the murder of Tupac Shakur, made his initial appearance in a Las Vegas court Wednesday. Going before Judge Tiara Jones, Davis said he retained attorney Edie Fall out of Los Angeles, but that he was unable to attend yesterday's hearing. Judge Jones agreed to push the arraignment back, setting an October 19th date so Fall could be present. Davis, also known as Keefe D., was arrested on Friday after a grand jury indicted him for murder to further promote a criminal gang in the 1996 killing of Shakur in Las Vegas. He's expected to plead not guilty. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. In Calhoun County, Alex Anthony Cardenas was convicted of sexual assault of a child on Tuesday and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. TxDOT reported 166 crashes within Port Lavaca and 274 crashes in Calhoun County. Plus, Calhoun County Airport celebrating its 6th annual fly-in event this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:38 on your Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Continuing coverage on the chaos on Capitol Hill.
The Florida congressman who engineered the ouster of Speaker Kevin McCarthy now may be facing the consequences of those actions. I'm ABC News' Liz Landers in Washington with the story coming up.
And we're going to be taking a look at that cold front making its way to the area, bringing us 70s by the weekend. Take a look at your full forecast coming right up. Good morning, Crossroads. Got a live look at Quail right now. You see a couple clouds out there, and as those showers are approaching from the north, we will be taking a look at that closely in just a few moments. But for now, those temperatures are still a little warm out there. 80 degrees is that morning temperature right now. 78 dew point, though, bringing that humidity up to a little high, 94%. So it is, of course, a little groggy out there, but of course, we are all very familiar with that being on the coast. If you're sending your kiddos up to school this morning, about 77 degrees is that temperature in the morning. And those showers and thunderstorms are going to be sticking around the area. Probably about 9 a.m. is when those showers will be rolling through the area. As they're heading back home, though, in the afternoon, about 87 degrees is that afternoon temperature, with maybe a couple lingering showers as well. Now, the big talk this weekend, especially this weekend, is this cold front coming our way. As this slingshotted low is going to come south into the Great Lakes region. That's going to spawn this large cold front extending from West Texas, El Paso into the Great Lakes, bringing us cool temperatures by late Friday. And as you can see, 70s are in the forecast for this weekend, and for that high, we have an alert day for day as we see those heavy showers come through the area. And we'll be taking a look at those showers in just a few more moments in just a second. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. The drama hasn't stopped on Capitol Hill. There is still no permanent Speaker of the House, and now Republicans in the House are eyeing punishment for the 8 members led by Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who voted to remove Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his post on Tuesday.
This morning, moderate House Republicans tell ABC News they are pushing to expel Congressman Matt Gaetz from the House GOP conference and punish the other 7 Republicans who voted to remove Congressman Kevin McCarthy as House Speaker.
Matt Gaetz just got schooled by AOC and others. He was totally manipulated into doing this.
I think there needs to be accountability. There needs to be consequences.
Gaetz and the 7 Republicans provided enough votes to force McCarthy out, furious after he worked out a short-term spending deal with Democrats to keep the government funded.
I tend to believe that our dirty laundry should remain in our room, our laundry room, and so I think the conference has to have a serious conversation about that and about what accountability there will be.
The soonest an official move to expel Congressman Matt Gaetz could come is Tuesday, when House Republicans return for a conference meeting to hear from candidates for House Speaker. Congressman Steve Scalise made it official yesterday, saying he's running for the leadership role along with Congressman Jim Jordan. The other big question is, will the new speaker support additional funding for Ukraine, a major sticking point that nearly led to the government shutdown? Congressman Jordan already making it clear where he stands on the issue.
I'm against that. The most pressing issue on Americans' mind is not Ukraine.
In the Senate, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is urging House Republicans to get rid of that motion to vacate, which allows a single member the ability to force a vote to get rid of the Speaker. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
Continuing coverage on the chaos on Capitol Hill as Republican lawmakers scramble to find a new leader. The House says it will try to elect a speaker as soon as next week, but the timing is nowhere near certain. As we just learned from Washington, the members currently in the running are Majority Leader Steve Scalise and Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan, though it's unclear if either will have the 218 votes needed to secure the speakership. U.S. Congressman District 27 Michael Cloud voted against McCarthy's removal as Speaker. On Facebook Wednesday, the congressman said, quote, "It's not about personalities or popularity contests, it's about breaking the swamp. That is our mission. We have made progress, but there is so much more to do," unquote. One Texas congressman says he will nominate Donald Trump as the next Speaker of the House. KPRC reports Congressman Troy Nehls, who represents Wharton County, posted on X that he is nominating the former president for the position. A speaker does not legally need to be a member of Congress. That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We ask you, should Trump be made Speaker of the House? Okay, let's take a look. 60% of you say yes, and 40% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Queer Record. The Chisholm Trail Heritage Museum hosted Senator Kay Bailey Hutchinson for a book signing and luncheon. And the Ring of Fire, the upcoming solar eclipse, will be visible in DeWitt County Saturday, October 14th. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. Coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise, we hear from the Victoria Fine Arts Association and their upcoming Falling for Victoria live music event.
Good morning, Crossroads. Well, we had a couple showers come through our area, and there's still a couple showers out there right now. We'll take a look at that in just a second, but we've got some video of those showers come through our area. This is actually this is shot by meteorologist Trey Mining, our very own. Right outside our news station, you can see, look at all that heavy rain falling on us here at the Crossroads of Victoria. Look at that puddle too, a nice little puddle puddling up on the side of the road. But we're going to take a look at the radar here. So we've still got a couple showers out there, a couple showers heading towards, I guess this one's starting to fizzle out right now, but if it does keep going, it'll move into the Sargent area. Maybe a couple things developing just west of Bay City, but the big talk is this squall line heading south right now, and we're going to take a look at the timing of that as we look at the high-res model. This model has it about 9 a.m. as it heads through Victoria and kind of dissipating, becoming less widespread in the afternoon. And look at the North American model. This one's going to look a little different. This one's got it about 9 a.m., maybe a little after 9 a.m., maybe like 9:30 or something like that, coming through our area as well, and also becoming a little less widespread later in the afternoon as well. Excuse me. We're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast and that cold front coming this weekend in just a few moments. But for now, back to you, Carolina.
And now we're joined by Shannon Longoria. She's the president of the Victoria Fine Arts Association, here to talk to us about Falling for Victoria. Welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you.
So Shannon, what can we expect this weekend with Falling for Victoria?
Oh, it's going to be a fun fall festival of music and lots of fun food trucks and lots of activities. There's going to be so many things to do, and I think everybody's going to want to come down here and see what's going on.
And so this is October 7th.
Yes, from 4 to 10. So we're going to have lots of fun food trucks and, like I said, just vendors, people out there. We're partnering with Mother Cluckers, and they're going to be doing, they're the ones that got so many folks together, so there's going to be lots of artisans out there and lots of wonderful things to look at, see while you're browsing. You're going to get to enjoy some live local music from great musicians like Jack Motley and John Paul Ortiz, Stephanie Ross and the Southern Drive Band, and then also our headliner is Stout Brothers. So it's going to be a good lineup, and it's just a great way to support local live artistry in Victoria. I mean, from people who work with their hands to folks that are doing music. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
And we'll hear Stephanie Ross on this weekend's edition of Community Crossroads. We've, of course, had Jack Motley and John Paul Ortiz on as musical guests as well. So it sounds like a great way to get to know Victoria's downtown, bringing that fall season right, because we're falling for Victoria.
Yes, it's fun. That's why I wore my fall shirt. So
I love it.
Everybody remember to fall for Victoria. And it's not just about fall, but it's really about falling in love with our local artists and really giving them a shot. They work so hard. They have so much talent, and we want to support them, just like Austin gets behind their artists. I mean, we want to have that kind of passion about sponsoring and supporting our local artists.
Well, thank you for providing a stage to local talent here in the Crossroads.
Yeah, happy to do it. I mean, I'm here, I'm a president after a long line of people, 75 years with Victoria Fine Arts Association, of people enhancing the arts in Victoria. And so I'm just very thrilled to be a part of it, and, you know, just want to do my part as well.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Sunrise, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right. Well, coming up, don't go anywhere. News to know before you go. Thousands of Kaiser Permanente workers took to picket lines in multiple states on Wednesday. The coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions, which represents some 75,000 of the health system's employees nationally, approved a strike for 3 days in California, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington. Kaiser issued a statement saying that while no contract deal was reached, there were tentative agreements on a number of unspecific issues. The company said it would reconvene bargaining as soon as possible. The union says no further talks are scheduled as of yet, and the strike remains in effect. Law enforcement sources say 3 Philadelphia officers were shot Wednesday evening. Authorities say the incident stemmed from a child who was playing video games when an argument occurred between him, his uncle, and his father. The argument led to the father shooting the uncle in the home. 911 was called, and upon arrival, the father opened fire on officers. 2 officers were each shot in the leg, and a sergeant was shot in the finger. The 3 officers were taken to a nearby hospital and listed in stable condition. The uncle was taken to a hospital as well, but he is said to be in critical condition. Responding officers fired back and killed the gunman. Shiner Police Chief Kevin Kelso resigned this week after close to 2 years on the job. The Shiner Gazette reports the Shiner City Council named former Lavaca County Precinct 3 Justice of the Peace Wayne Denson as interim police chief. Kelso, an interim police chief in Beeville, was the Seguin police chief for a decade. Before that, he spent 22 years with the Victoria Police Department. The next special session in Texas starts Monday. It's expected to include legislation using taxpayer money to pay for private school. The Texas Tribune reports Governor Greg Abbott said he'll call lawmakers back to address a voucher plan, or what's referred to as an education savings account. The measure, which supporters have dubbed school choice, failed to pass during the Texas legislature's regular session. State Senator for District 18 Lois Clochor sent us a statement on the special session. She says, quote, "There is $5 billion appropriated for a school finance bill. I'm looking forward to working with those House and Senate colleagues to pass legislation so hardworking teachers can receive a pay raise, and additional funding can be provided to schools that will support educating the children of Texas." The Powerball jackpot has now climbed to an estimated $1.4 billion after no players matched all 6 numbers Wednesday night. The winning numbers in Wednesday night's drawing were 9, 35, 54, 63, 64, and the Powerball was 1. The next drawing is this Saturday, October 7th. It makes the 11th week with no winner. Powerball drawings are held 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 10:59 p.m. Eastern Time. The Powerball is played in 45 states as well as Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. At 25 members, Texas has the largest Republican delegation in the House by far. Gaining their support would be a major boost for any candidate hoping to fill the role of U.S. House Speaker. Read the story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker. Parker, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, Carolina. We did just have some showers roll through our area, including right here. This is actually shot right outside the station. We had some heavy showers and thunderstorms roll through the area just a second ago. This is actually shot by our very own Trey Mining, who just went out there and shot all this footage. But we're going to take a look at those rain chances for today. Take a look at the high-res model. The line of showers and thunderstorms that's coming out of the north is expected to be here between our area between about 8:30 to 9, maybe even 9:30, that window. We're going to look at the North American model. It's probably about the same on this one too. As you can see, 9 o'clock is about that time rolling through our area. So please be careful. If you're on the roads, you might see some heavy rain, maybe even some strong winds with that as well. Now we're going to talk about the big talk this weekend. Is this cold front's going to come to our neck of the woods, finally bringing us cool temperatures by Saturday and Sunday. Is what's going to happen is this low that came out of Western Canada is going to move into the Great Lakes region, spawning this large cold front, extending from West Texas all the way to the Great Lakes, coming into our area by the early morning on Saturday. You can really see the frontal boundary on the dew point map. As you can see, it moved through Dallas about 7 p.m. and it moves down through Waco about 1 a.m. and then to our area by about 7, 8, 9, 10 a.m. Now looking at the 7 days, it's supposed to be about 89 today, and as that front moves through, 70s are in the forecast this weekend. That's it for the weather today. Have an awesome rest of your day today. Have a great rest of your night tonight. That's it for the weather. Have an awesome day. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Thank you for the wonderful forecast. And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Dawn, James, Mac, Karina, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. We'll see you tomorrow morning.